Well, hello YouTubers, this is Bob. It is so good to be back with you. Well, I promised you guys another messages from the spirit world this week. And you know, we've been getting tons of letters. I've been working on all of them. Thank you for your patience as I'm trying to get back to a lot of you. It's just a lot of mail. But we're going to keep working on it. So before we get into all that, give me just a moment and let me attune to the spirit world. Very good. Well, my spirit guide Fletcher series since it's breathing. Okay, my first letter tonight is for Radio Queen 46. You know, I get around you October, and see, this is a turning point in your month, and I feel around that time there's going to be some increase in money around you. And I feel like this is a new job starting around that time. It seems to be increase here. Okay? Now, you know, in terms of the marriage situation, I have to tell you, I also feel that October is a transition time there. And it may well come to each of you having a break for a while from each other. And I don't think that's such a bad thing in this circumstance. So I'm just going to say be open to looking at a break, you know, a little bit of separation here in October, because I feel like in that time you're going to be really seeking greater peace within, and that will lead you to wanting a kind of a new freedom. Okay? All right. Well, keep me posted. Thank you for waiting. Okay, Chantel 1703. Hi. You know, that previous life, that was in Sweden, and it looks like it was in the 1700s. Now, I pick up around you that the guy that's working with you now was with you then, and he was your brother. And it's interesting because they keep showing me a fishing village here, and I do believe you were connected to a fishing village in the 1700s in Sweden. So I'd like you to do some exploration on that time in that area. It was one of the coastal towns there, and it's in the, you know, kind of the southern part here of the country, right on kind of the tip. But it was in that country where I see it. Okay, so your guide now was your brother then, and see, he's come over as a spirit guide to work with you now. Okay, so you have a familiarity in a sense. And as you talk to him, say, "Are you my brother?" And you'll get a message back from him. Okay? Thank you for waiting. All right. Callisto 484. You know, your question's very good. You write about, is it okay to be a vegetarian or should we be a vegan? Well, you know, I believe when we talk about food, first of all, everybody's on a different journey. And we can't say, you know, everybody has to be this. You know, it's not about demanding everybody adhere to some absolute about diet. But the thing is, what I would say is, as a spiritual person, and as we grow in spirituality, I think that a spiritual journey requires that we be more attentive to how we live and seek to have, I suppose I would say, less violence. It's, you know, we should minimize the amount of suffering and violence and destruction we cause on this planet. And all of us are guilty to it to some extent, even vegetarians and vegans. Because, you know, if you're using electricity, you're probably, you know, using your electricity comes from a water turbine that's, you know, perhaps affecting a lake and maybe injuring animals somewhere. So, you know, all of us on some level do contribute, whether we choose to or not, to suffering. But I do think the spiritual path requires us to look at that and to minimize that suffering. So it's not an issue of do you have to be one or the other. It's an issue of where you feel you can live in harmony with the natural world and be true to your spiritual self. Okay? All right. Thank you for writing. Okay, Guardian of the Grove. You know, your letter was most fascinating to me. You know what's happening here. Now, you wrote and said you were having kind of a visionary experience, and you were. You were having a past life flashback. Now, what's interesting about your past life flashback is that you're also at the same time experiencing a bleed through. And that means that that moment is kind of frozen in time and you're reliving it. And what's interesting is your current spirit guide was the woman that you saw. See, you were saving her life because somebody was out to kill her. And it was a very traumatic thing. In fact, you died. So on a soul level, you are, reliving kind of that last few moments of your life. But because you gave your life to save that woman, she now serves you as a spirit guide. And so that kind of bleed through is her way of helping you to see the connection and to understand that she's working with you now because she has a debt of gratitude to you, and she's the one who now saves you. Okay? Thank you for writing. Okay. Yothu Yindi 09. Hi. I get around you a lot of travel coming up, and I feel there's a U.S. Connection. I feel you'd be traveling, and I'm seeing you go to the west coast of the United States and also the east coast, like you're crossing the United States here. And I also get around you changes here financially, because I feel like you may be going into a new line of work, possibly even back to school. And it's interesting because you have a lot of talent. I see around you artistic talent. You'd be very good in studying animation, particularly computer animation. But you also would be very good at massage work, massage therapy, because you have a bit of a healer in you as well. So I think actually you'll kind of do both of those over the next 2 years. Okay? But look into animation, computer animation. You have a lot of talent in that area. Okay? Thanks for writing. All right. Let's see here. XOXO Nicole 11. Hi, dear. One of the things that you want to do, first of all, the Ouija board is not dangerous, provided you use it respectfully. So you want to ground yourself, like be focused and centered, and surround yourself with white light and do a prayer, okay? And then, you don't want to be with people who are treating like a joke, because if you're joking around, you're just going to open up portals that could bring in anything. So you want to know who you want to contact. Now, you have a spirit guide around you, and the name is Lawrence. Lawrence is his name. My guide says it's St. Lawrence, actually. Wow, okay. St. Lawrence, I want you to research him. He was a Catholic martyr, but he's around you, and he's going to help you open the portal between the worlds, okay? So ask for his help. Anyways, get my book, Ouija Mysteries, and that will help you as well. You can get that at my website, which I'll put links down here. Okay? But be focused, be centered, and I don't see you having any problems, because I do feel you have some empathic and psychic abilities, and I see you being successful with it. All right? St. Lawrence is your guide, okay? Thank you. Okay, let's see. Sky Angel to Love. Hello, dear. Well, first of all, let me tell you, there's no curse around you. There's not. You're not under any curse. But what's happening here is you are the most advanced soul in your family. And you're kind of an older soul being put among younger souls. So this is where the upheaval's coming from. And I feel that you're in your husband's life and the life of your kids to help them grow and advance spiritually. Is it a hard job? You bet it is. I'm not going to lie. But I do see your family making progress this year, and I really feel as you turn into the new year, into January, February of 2011, you're going to start to see some real joy come back and some growth there. And Fletcher says not to worry. He says the fall brings financial improvement also in the household, okay? But you're on the right path. Don't worry. Nobody's cursed you. There's no demonic attack. You're just an older soul among younger souls, okay? Thank you for writing. Keep me posted. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time. Guys, thank you so very much for being here. Keep the letters coming. I've so enjoyed reading for all of you. And keep it here on Spirit Channel, and we'll be having more videos. Blessings to all of you.